Hey, what's up, gang? Mike here, head trader, True Trading Group. November 25th, starting the holiday week off red, unfortunately. Um, I really, guys, I made a losing trade here in Jan today. I wasted literally my entire day trading this thing. Um, and I was really teetering back and forth today with, like, I was really on the line, or I was on the fence, and I was walking a very fine line of being stubborn and holding on to a trade that I probably should have stopped out on earlier, and not giving up on what was like a gut feeling. And I really thought that this Jan had potential this morning. I thought this thing had the potential to give us a major short trap. It was a real small float. Um, it was holding real stubborn at a very key support level around $5, and it was holding it the whole day until it finally gave it up in the afternoon. And I wasted my whole day in this thing. I went after it twice. The first time was just a tier one position. I was just kind of like testing the waters. So for those that don't know, tier one is just 25% of my position size, or my desired position size. So let's say I want to buy 10,000 shares of a stock. Tier one would be 2,500 shares. Um, so I was only in tier one for the first trade, so it didn't really hurt. It was a small loss, but I went after it again, and that time I wasn't a full size position. Ended up taking a loss on it, so I'm red here on the day. But I felt like the juice was worth the squeeze on this stock today. I really thought this thing had potential to go to $9, and I thought with the float as small as it was, that if we got that increase in volume and we triggered that short squeeze, that this thing was going to go. And let's start off with going to the daily chart, and I want you to notice, like, just look at this resistance up at this $9 level. I mean, this is just insane. I mean, look at this resistance at $9. So I really thought we had a chance to squeeze up and test that $9. This is multi-year resistance, 2016, 17, 18, 19. 4 years of resistance at $9. All right, and I thought we had a chance to maybe get up there and test that area today with this gap up. I didn't chase the thing off the gap up. You guys know I really never chase. I don't really trade right off the opening bell. I usually let stocks settle in. I give them a couple minutes. Not a lot of information, not a lot of data for you to dictate and determine if a stock's really strong or really weak at the opening bell. It's a lot of whiplash, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, this thing was whipping around. The first 5 minutes of the day was between 6 and 7. I mean, literally, we were going from $6 to $7, back to $6, back to $7, back to $6. And I don't participate in that action, and I think it's just a very high risk entry point. So I like to wait. I like to wait for stocks to settle in, give me some type of pattern, let me know if it's truly strong or truly weak. And I waited for a test down around this $5 level. Okay, why was I thinking that level? Because when I go back to the daily chart, okay, I'll draw a line right across that $5. You can see we just had some previous pivot highs here in early September. Not a major level, but nonetheless a little area of structure that I thought if we were able to hold above, that we had a chance to go. And you guys can see, I mean, look how long we held this level. We held this level all the way until just after 1 o'clock. So, this thing really had my attention for the whole morning session. And then by the time it finally crapped out and I exited the position, it was lunchtime. And I'm just like, you know what? There's not really much else for me to go after right now. And I just kind of shut it down after taking the loss on it. But let's get into the trades. I went after it twice. We'll go over the first one. Here's the first entry point. Okay. And I waited for the stock to give me that pullback off the bell and establish that initial low. So here we established the initial low, and you can see clear as day resistance at VWAP, and then we pulled it in, and it looked like we were trying to double bottom here with the trade line working its way up here as well. So I went ahead and actually took a tier one position right there, just in case we squeeze, because I thought if we did squeeze, I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to go very quickly. I wanted to get something as close to that low as I could. So right here, guys, let me zoom in. You guys can see long tier 1 at 587 with a stop loss around $5. There's the tier 1 entry point. All right, it's actually in this candle. There's the tier 1 entry point. All right. And you guys can see we just never got to VWAP. Never got to VWAP. We came here, broke down, broke the low of the day, and I exited the tier 1. Back to my announcements, you can see sold out tier 1 at 495. Okay, but again, this was just a tier 1 position, was not a big position size, was not full size, was just 25% of my usual the position size I wanted to get up to, so it didn't really hurt that bad. This one wasn't really that big of a deal. But after we make the new low, I thought this stock was going to collapse right here. I thought this thing was going to collapse, so that it was done right there. But it held, and it took that low back. You see, we took that low back right here, and this is when I started to get interested again. I'm like, here's this $5 level, and I'm like, you know, we held it. Like, yeah, we kind of pierced through it, but we're holding it. This level's holding. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try this thing again. And again, I went after I bought a tier 1 position right in here. Back to my announcements. So you guys can see again, I'm long tier 1 at 529 now. Okay. I'm going to add through 550. All right. The trade line's starting to come into play. The trade line's acting as a little bit of area support. We got up here through 550, and sure enough, I added to the position right here, looking for a break through the looking for a break through VWAP, and then if we got an increase in volume, then you look for the squeeze move through the high of the day. We just never got it. You can see I added tier 2 at 555. All right, so now I'm in the full size position, and we just rolled it back over. Never had enough momentum, never got an increase in volume. You guys look at the volume on this thing, it just never came back. We never got an increase in volume. Maybe it's my fault for trying to look for a squeeze move the day of Thanksgiving. The week of Thanksgiving. Sorry, guys, I didn't really get too much sleep last night. The week of Thanksgiving, which is typically a low volume week. So maybe that's where I kind of went wrong, and maybe I shouldn't have been as stubborn and as focused in on this trade as I was, because the volume just wasn't there. The volume just wasn't there. I ended up stopping out of this position all the way over here. Once we broke down below 475, back to my announcements, you guys can see I sold out at 470. So red on the day here. That the second trade is the one that hurt me because I added to it at 550. I added to it at 550. So this one, that's the one that got me. So nonetheless, you can see, and then you can see finally in the afternoon the stock gave up and then rolled over. But I mean, we held that area for the whole morning, and I thought this thing had a chance with the float to give you a squeeze, and I was just wrong. But I thought if it squeezed, I thought it had a chance to go to 9. So I'm sitting, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna risk 50, 60 cents or so to make $3.50. Yeah, I thought the juice was worth the squeeze there. The risk reward on the trade was there, because if we did squeeze and I was selling 7, 8, 9, it would have been a grand slam trade. But in order to catch those grand slams, sometimes you got to take on some extra risk, and I felt the juice was worth the squeeze on this one. Just didn't really work out, and this one, just took an L. So starting the week off in the red. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Tomorrow's TGD Tuesday. If you guys want to come and chat and trade with me live for free for the whole day, you can go to truetradinggroup.com. Top right hand corner, it'll say free TGD Tuesday. Register, you'll get a link that'll give you access to my chat room for free for the whole day. So come in, say what's up. Shoot me a DM, shoot me a message in chat. Let me know you guys are from the YouTube community. And then I'm going to be putting out a little message that talks about I did my first live stream yesterday. So I'm going to be touching upon the topic that we discussed on the live stream. I'll be talking about that also shortly, guys. I'm going to be doing a lot more live streams coming up as well. So be ready for that. All right. I'll see you guys in chat tomorrow. Take care.